Hey everyone. So we're out here in my backyard doing a little weeding of my weed garden. It's really overrun this year. I didn't get the time to spend here. We've been away a lot. Um, Happens every year. I have very bold aspirations to have this wonderful garden, and either I do and it gets destroyed by deer, or I don't, and we end up with more weeds than plants. And unfortunately, that's what happened again this year. What I'm here talking to you about today is, when do you take profit from your Pokemon business? When do you say, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to use it for my own personal gold chain, my new sneakers, I'm going to buy something that's non-Pokemon related. So you have to think back you're doing Pokemon selling, you have to start somewhere. And you don't start and automatically make profit. You have to take money that you have to invest it. So let's say you take $1,000 and you buy $1,000 collection with the goal of selling. Even if you have your own personal collection, $1,000, but I'm going to start working in the business, doing vendor shows, selling. So you sell that $1,000 and you make profit. You end up with $1,200. Very likely, unless you're exiting, unless you're done, that $1,200 that you now have in cash, you'll take it and buy another collection, right? And you'll sell that, and you'll end up with $1,500. So you continually cycle. You continually take money, sell, cycle. And the profit, the increase in value that you've added to those cards, sorting, posting for sale, taking photos, the increase in value, finding the person who wants it the most. The value that you've added, you end up taking that, and you don't buy it, spend it on yourself when you're new in the Pokemon business. You go ahead and buy more. You reinvest it in your business. And it takes a long time for you to get to the scale where you can keep cycling through business and do enough volume for you to be able to take money out of it. And that's something that we've been in the business we've been working as an online LGS, local card store, LCS. We've been working online, Pokemon specific, for about 3 years. I think we started in the days of Japanese VMAX Climax. That was some of our very first sales, Japanese VMAX Climax. And then we entered into the Fusion Strike era. That's when we started. At the time, everything was still very bullish. Lots of activity. But we had to take money that we had, and it was basically our collection, our cards, and we had to sell them. And we take that money and sell more. And over the course of 3 years, our bank account, it never got above zero. It never went where we have money left over at the end. Because what happens is, we take any profit we make, any addition, and we reinvest in inventory. Which means after 3 years, we still have zero money. We have zero funds in our account. We've paid Shopify. We've paid thousands of dollars in Canada Post. We've paid thousands of dollars in Meta ads and Google ads and all that fun stuff. And yet, zero. After all this time, we have zero funds in our account. The reason is not because we were unsuccessful. It's because the tendency we have, we're running it as a side business. We don't need to take money out of it in order to eat, and we don't need to take money out of it to pay for heat or pay for employees or things like that. But we can't just keep dumping money into it. We have to continually reinvest. So we're up to let's say Shrouded Fable. We get $1,000 worth of product. We sell it and we get $1,200. Sitting in our bank right now, $1,200. The first thing that I do as a Pokemon flipper seller business is I look, where can I put that $1,200 right now so that I boost my inventory? And we're buying a collection, like, got it all lined up. But when you're running a Pokemon card business, that's what it's about. You're continually taking any profit you have and you're putting it back in inventory. So you never have money. You never have funds left over. Um, some people do, right? Some people will talk about gotta stay liquid. We're very rarely in a liquid position. Um, we always have product. We always have inventory. And one of the best things about our approach is we always have sort of interesting things in our inventory, whether they're slabs or interesting singles. We really singles has been like the godsend to our business. The fact that there's a lot of folks who don't want to deal with selling $1 and $2 and $3 cards. They'll gladly trade them in at 75 or 60% trade-in value, 75 for us, or sell them at 60% just for Kai and I to sort of flip. You know, we immediately make that 25% profit on the value of the cards and the trade-in. So that's that profit. We keep spending it, and we're not spending it on, you know, candy, or we're not spending it on Pokemon cookies. We keep that fun stuff separate, but we'll spend it on more inventory. And where that's led us is our pile of inventory, the selection we have, the volume that we do, it has increased. The more inventory, the more selection, the more interesting cards, the more volume you do. Now, we've not got to the point where I feel like we can stop buying more inventory. And Pokemon's always going to be like this. There's always something new in 2 months. So we're not going to get there, but we still haven't reached the volume. We just haven't reached the volume where we feel that we can take money and not spend it on more inventory, or not spend it on expenses like marketing, or not spend it on, you know, the stickers that we send as part of our our singles. And it's presented some problems where you look at all the work you've done, and you have an area of your store, your inventory area. You have lots of cool boxes. Your 5 rows of singles looks great. It's always cool to flip through. You end up with a lot of stuff that doesn't move, of course. You know, the inventory builds. You have very liquid stuff, and I think in the world of inventory management, they call it different tiers of products. You have your A tier, your B tier, your C tier. I think the last time I checked, we had maybe $6,000 in A tier product. Oddly, B tier, maybe like $500 in B tier product. But in C tier product, stuff that doesn't move, that's probably, you know, collection boxes and anything that hasn't cycled through our site. We have like $30,000 in C tier product, which, you know, is not good. But our bank account is zero, right? So what's happened is over the course of time, we've taken our profits and bought more inventory. We continually buy inventory. Now I know that $30,000 is not a true $30,000. You know, it's not the profit we've made over 3 years. It's product that's going to be sticky. It's not going to be easy to sell. Even if I put it at half price, I might not even sell it. So that C tier stuff is not. But I come to this thing, like, when does it, at what point in volume does it switch from you having to constantly reinvest in inventory in order for you to have money left over? We haven't reached there yet, unfortunately. I continually want to grow in size, and based on what I can see, looking at all the numbers and stuff, we're kind of growing like 10% a year, which is not great for a small business or a starting business. 10% a year is not great. There's a lot of things that do look good from our perspective, but 10% a year could be better. But I'm seeing we're spending less on marketing this year, and we're still growing, which means we're doing things correctly in some aspects. But I have to decide, you know, when do I stop continually investing in this business? Kai and I, you know, zero profit. Our bank account always says zero. Um, when do we stop? And I've thought a lot about that. I don't know. I really, I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy meeting up with people and getting them some cards. Or there's a guy down at the fire station here, and he'll order a box of 151, and he doesn't come up to the pickup location where I deliver people their goods, but he gets me to walk down and drop it off at the fire station. So I like doing that stuff. It's, you know, I like the reviews you get on Google, the positive reviews, or the notes you'll get in the store purchases. Someone will buy something online, they'll write a note in. Those are really appreciated. If you've never like sent a note to who you're buying your your stuff from, people really do appreciate those notes, those thank yous. They add a little spice to your day. So definitely do it. It's just time on your side, but it adds a smile to the person who's selling your goods. Now, one of the things about buying inventory is I'm of the personal opinion that most cards can find a home. Most cards will find a home. I've had to think about this a lot lately, specifically because we're looking to buy a niche collection. A niche collection is something like, it's not the standard, you know, alt arts and hit cards and you know, the big hits. It's not your standard binder stuff that you pull from packs. Niche collection is a collection that someone has been, they're not set cards, or they're set cards with, you know, special stamps, special, you know, their staff promos, their play booster pack cards. And I don't know if it's a wise thing, because in my opinion, the things that do move, set cards, the most vanilla stuff, to be able to sell the niche stuff. I've had stamped cards. I've had, you know, the GameStop promos and the play promos and stuff like that. I don't know. We're gonna do it. We're gonna buy it. But I don't know how good it's gonna move, and I'm worried about adding to this C tier inventory, the stuff that's sticky. But we will see. We're gonna do a video on this purchase that we're gonna do, probably in a week or two when time permits. But when you're doing Pokemon flipping, you always have to make these. There's easy decisions like Shrouded Fable, buying the newest set. Easy decision. Yes, you have to do it. People will want it. People will buy it. But then there's difficult decisions. There's things like, there's an alt art collection, easy decision. A niche collection filled with old play promos and staff promos and things like that. You gotta wonder, because what's going is your audience for those cards, the buyer pool gets really small, and they have crazy values on them. Like, the values are marked very high, which means people do want them. But the question is this more of a supply problem, where people will find these expensive cards, but they want to hold on to them so much that the price is really high because of just supply? Or is it really a demand, right? Do people really want them, and that's why they can sell high? I feel like it's super supply limited, but the demand is not high. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be interesting. It's not a high value, it's not multi-thousands, but it's probably one of the biggest collections that we've ever purchased. It's surpassing a collection I did of alt arts, so we shall see. And we're small business, right? We're tiny when it comes to Pokemon. I see people do more business in a whatnot stream than we'll do all month. So that's how it goes. Love doing videos in the backyard. Hope you guys enjoyed this little chat with me. Hopefully it was entertaining. If you got all this way, just make a comment or something, or hit the like button. I know it's free to do, but it helps the algorithm. For people who just want to hear beautiful sounds of a backyard, some old guy chatting about Pokemon. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that fun stuff. Cheers.